Hello, teachers of Texas, teachers from wherever you are. Sensia Learning is having a special. So it is 5 hours of tutoring sessions for any pedagogical exam, any content area exam. It is 5 hours for $300. And you'd be surprised how quickly that time just goes. Typically, we spend a lot of time discussing the theoretical framework from which the exams are built, and then start discussing best practices and how that actually plays into some of the scenarios. But I just wanted to let everybody know about the special that's going on this summer for all teachers. That is 5 hours, and typically the sessions cost $120 an hour, and so it really is a large savings, and the time goes by so fast. But before I go, a good friend of mine told me that I should do a tip of the day. So the tip of the day is going to be for remote teaching, right? For remote learning, and that's distance learning. And one of the important sort of realizations that came out from the coronavirus, or during that time that everyone was in quarantine, was that the audience pays attention to the background. What is your background? And so a lot of teachers spent an immense amount of thought putting together what type of background was going to be there for their classroom, and then others not so much. But it is an invaluable tool that I believe was underutilized during quarantine, to sort of build a connection and let the students know about you. What do you find important? What things do you value? And I know that some of the late night hosts on TV in their sequestered studios would change out something. Maybe books on a shelf would be different titles, and then people would go and look up that. So maybe playing around with something in your background, having some staples, but that's something that changes every week, so the students can sort of be like ready for it and ready to look to see like, why did she add that to her background? So utilizing the things in that we feel we're limited, but there really are ways around of building relationships when you're doing distance learning. So sort of thinking outside of the box and being mindful of the whole package. So the background for any educator is going to be something that the students might, as you drone on, look at. So it's important that you put things that are important to you, that say things about you, things that are important to the session or the class or the audience, but then also kind of make it fun and interchange things and utilize it as a learning tool. Like, what is that new book on Miss Salceda's shelf? Can't really see him because it's kind of far away. So this summer, we're going to be spending a lot of time discussing social and emotional learning, because that has been sort of like the breakout winner for how we're going to change education. And Sensia Learning has an entire section for social and emotional learning professional development, science of teaching reading professional development, culturally responsive teaching professional development, and then development for those teacher interns that are not yet at that solidified certification area, to help tutor them and pass those pedagogy exams and those content exams. So please email me if you would like to set up a session. I'm excited. The schedule is filling up, but we do have group classes available for each of the content areas, PPR, the science of teaching reading, and others. So I look forward to helping all of my educators that are taking their little break. A little known fact, educators don't take a break. Even in their break time, they're learning and taking professional development and doing all of these things to make themselves better for your students the next year. So if you see a teacher, thank them for their service, please, because they do so much. Sensia Learning is saying goodbye for now. Bye. How do you stop this?